back to Just Us Thinking for the After Show. I'm Michael.
And I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Mikey.
And this is the After Show for the Working Out Discrimination.
It is.
It was a tough subject, right?
Yeah, it kind of was, yeah.
It was so tough we had a drink.
Yep.
We both had a few drinks. So I'm drinking a little bit of Jack and Coke.
Cranberry and vodka over here.
Yep. So we're having a little cocktail hour while we're doing this.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. So
As I miss my mouth.
Are you dribbling all over your chest there?
Yeah.
You're supposed to drink it, not wear it.
Yeah.
All right. Where do we leave off? What? I don't know. What do you think about what? Did we cover everything we wanted?
I think so. I mean, we went over we didn't go all over all the different types, but I mean, we hit the top ones.
Yeah, you know what we didn't hit? We didn't hit on race or color.
Yeah.
Which are two different things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I want to say I'm hoping that we're over that part of this now.
I would hope so.
I still think it happens, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Now, what was the other one? Sexual orientation or?
Yeah, and then natural origin.
National origin.
National origin.
National origin. Are you okay?
I don't know. What did I say?
I don't know what you were saying.
Natural orientation?
Oh, yeah.
What?
I think it's national origin and sexual orientation.
Yeah.
You were combining the two because you've had one too many. So, yeah, I don't. Gender equality. I want to say gender, sex, age is a big one too.
Yeah.
I mean, you get pushed out on a lot of shit as you age out.
And then, that could go the other way though too. You have all these younger kids coming in and they're like, oh, we should change this and we should change that. And it's like, well, no, because doesn't work like that.
So you're telling the new kids this, okay, sit down, shut up. This is the way we do things.
Yeah. Just,
Wow. I could tell you got old.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I did.
No, you were one of those little kids that came in wanting to change everything, weren't you?
Not really.
Really?
I think it was different back then.
I remember entering a lot of the... So here's the thing, and this is where it comes down to, and it's a big age thing, okay? Yeah. When you join a job and they're doing something and they're like, that's the way they've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
And you come in and say, well, why do you do it that way when you could do it this way?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, because we always do it that way and that's tradition. Don't use tradition as an excuse for not changing things.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's always room for improvement, but I think when you come in and you're like, you need to do this, and this differently. It's like, no, just calm yourself. Baby steps.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that, especially nowadays, technology is so much different.
Right.
There's so many changes that, you got these, I'm sorry, but younger kids coming in and thinking they know everything.
She looked over at Mikey and was thinking, snot-nosed little brats like Mikey. That's what went through her head.
Well, no, he's not old enough to be one of those yet.
He's a pre-snot-nosed little brat. Yeah. Oh, she should drink for the after shows more often.
She really should.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, here's my problem with age. Now, we talked about the age and the pushed out.
Yeah.
Here's my other problem with age, okay? Now I get it. What? You don't even know where I'm going.
Well, no, I'm just thinking back to one of the jobs I had.
Okay.
Where it was, a family business and most of the executives were family.
Right.
And then, the kids coming into it and you're just you're looking at these kids snot, like you said, snot-nosed little brats.
Wow. Just tell them how it is.
I think that just like totally popped into my head, and I'm like, oh.
Here's my problem, and now it has to do with the military. Okay.
Okay.
My biggest problem with military. You can enlist when you're 17, so you go to where you join the Army at 18. Okay?
Okay.
You can go die for your country.
You only have a year left, Mikey.
No, you can go die for your country at 18.
Yeah.
But you can't have a beer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can, you just can't legally.
I'm talking legally.
Sorry.
What the hell?
I mean, you can still have.
He could
one.
do a line of cocaine off a stripper's ass. He can do it. It's just not legal.
Yeah.
What the hell? Legally is what I'm talking. We're not a criminal organization on this podcast. You get a little booze in you and you turn into like a hit woman. What the hell? Well, you can get those booze illegally if you want. You're going to jail for selling beer to little minors outside of a convenience store. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, selling them outside of the base gates.
Yeah, you're going to jail. Bye. It was nice knowing you. You know that speed limit on the side of the freeway? Just a
Just a
guideline suggestion. Which I think you believe too. Oh,
hey, I'm not the
Jesus.
only one on this show that thinks it's just a suggestion.
No, I know it says speed limit. I thought it was a lower limit.
Your minimum limit.
Yeah, it did say maximum speed. There's a difference. Oh, shit.
We're going to hell.
I just don't know who's driving at this point. At this point, your dad might be driving. I don't know where we're going. Oh, jeez. No,
So
I mean,
what were we talking about again?
oh, jeez. We're talking about age discrimination, and you can't
okay,
you can't legally drink, but you could die for your country, is what I was
Yeah.
saying.
Oh, okay.
And heaven forbid you try to smoke a cigarette nowadays.
Right. Which you could also do illegally.
There's a lot of stuff you could do illegally.
Yeah.
Rebecca's philosophy here is it's only illegal if you get caught. Right?
Yeah.
And you got caught speeding. You get caught speeding. You didn't get caught that a lot.
No.
You
It's
just-
been like 6 or 7 years since I've gotten caught speeding. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but you were like, listen, I speed. You broke the sound barrier.
Yeah.
Like, it takes how long to get down to the Lake of the Ozarks?
Like 6 hours.
And with you driving 4?
5.
See? Do you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. What do you think about women and men's jobs?
Um,
Because obviously you think the women vacuum and men go to work.
that was back in like the 70s and 80s. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that, physically there are stuff that women can't do that men can do.
Well, now you're talking like the extreme. Like now, if you take like athletes, which
Yeah.
are like, they train to be the top of their industry there.
Yeah.
There is a clear difference between men and women. Okay.
Yeah.
You sitting on a computer next to John Smith, there ain't no difference of your.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's where the difference is.
Yeah.
For average people, there's no difference.
I mean, I think for the most part, I mean, women can do pretty much anything a man can do. I mean, there's some stuff that's, that can't, but I mean, for the most part,
right.
I mean, you have, like people the linemen that work for the power companies.
Right.
There's women out there that do that.
Right. And I would like to see more women actually getting on into those jobs.
Yeah.
Generally, women don't go for those. Like, what was that TV show? The Deadliest Catch, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How many women did you see on that boat?
Like none.
Why?
Because it's
Equal
probably
opportunity.
like a shitty job.
Right. And men and the men were doing it.
Yeah.
So where were the women?
They probably didn't want to do it.
Okay. Now that brings us to the point of you can't sit there and say, oh, well, we have this job, so we have to have half women, half men. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you there's some jobs. I will tell you, now that you'll see more and more in like trash pickup and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's mostly men that are, riding on the back of the truck and doing that mainly because I'm sorry, guys, we're kind of stupid and we like to do stupid things.
Well, and it's like all like automated now. They have the little thing they do from inside.
Well, now that's where it was interesting where with that, there was a requirement. So if you went to work for like waste management, there was a test. There's a physical test you had to do.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say it was like lift a like 100-pound bag or something like that. And you had to lift it so high, or I don't remember exactly what the requirements were.
Yeah.
But as long as you met the requirements, they didn't care what was between your legs.
That's good.
So now I like that. I like that kind of opportunity. Now, what if we go? Now, I'm from California.
Okay.
Now, the California Highway Patrol at one point had a height requirement. I don't know if they still do, but they had a height requirement.
Okay.
No dwarves on the CHP. What? It was true. They don't meet the height requirement.
Well, right, because isn't that like...
They had to be able to shoot over the car. Do you know that?
Okay. Well, that kind of makes sense.
Okay.
And are they...
Dwarfism is a disability.
Yeah. But I think that would be something that physically that would be harder for them to do.
So they're allowed to discriminate then.
Well, not... Okay, that was wrong. I said that wrong. But,
sorry, Brad, you cannot. Brad Williams cannot be a CHP
Yeah.
officer.
It's just it's one of those like physically demanding jobs that unfortunately sometimes there's things that can't be helped.
Okay. I agree. So I will tell you, if a person came in and I was hiring a person to be, a typewriter operator.
Yeah.
And she had no arms. I mean,
Well, you kind of have.
What if she can type with her feet?
Well, okay.
There are some people that can
yeah,
write or
you're
or
100%
write with
sure.
their feet.
Yeah.
They have they'll put the, like the pen or the pencil between their toes and they can write with their feet.
Yeah.
I know somebody that can do that. So,
Yep.
I would think, going back to the cop thing, I don't know, being a little person like that, I probably wouldn't want to be a cop.
Well, maybe you do.
What if they're short enough that they can shoot underneath the car?
Brad has said when he's gone there, he's made people happier by just seeing him. Maybe the police department needs to hire a bunch of dwarves. So when they encounter the bad guy, they're, oh, look, he's so cute. I'm not going to fight him. And then they give up. And then you solve crime. I just solved crime.
Okay, there you go.
Brad Williams, taking your application down to the CHP headquarters. And we're going to get you going.
Well, I just think there's different jobs like that unfortunately have physical requirements that
Okay.
it's not only a job requirement, but I think it would also be a safety issue.
Okay, so a 120-pound woman can't be a police officer?
Again, that might be a safety issue. I mean, because she's going to try to take out a 300-pound criminal.
I can't take out a 300-pound criminal.
Right.
So what? So I, who can?
Well, I
so
mean,
do you? So does that mean every police officer just has to be a linebacker for a football team?
well, no, but I mean, I'm sure there's ways that she could, but
Yeah. A taser. Tase his ass. Zzz.
Well, we lost her.
Cap him his ass.
Shoot him in the knee.
Well, and see, that's the problem. No. God damn no.
that is the solution. There you go. That's all the little people need to do is just shoot him in the knee and take him.
They have to shoot at the knee because they can't aim that high. That's like that's eye level.
We're definitely going to hell.
We are now. I mean, realistically, what says? I'm sorry, but if you're a bad guy and you're going to cause harm to someone, I mean,
seeing the 120-pound female cop could shoot him in the knee, take him out at the kneecap.
it's.
I mean,
you don't shoot in the knee.
Yeah, you do. It's more fun to take him down like that.
You know what? I'm okay if she wants to take the baton and pop him in his knee.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Why not shooting him in the knee then?
Why not just take the billy club and right to the groin?
Okay, well,
Ooh.
Right. See.
shoot him in the groin then.
So the issue, well, yeah, that'll make him think twice, right? If that was like a protocol and it got out that, hey, you screw up and there's a woman police officer, she will shoot you in the groin, people would surrender immediately. That would stop crime too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, it's a female officer, she'll shoot to the groin.
Or
I give up.
Or just in the ass, one of the two. If they're running away, shoot them in the ass.
Well, yeah. You don't shoot them when they're running away.
Well, yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Well, they probably just committed a crime, shoot them in the ass, and take them out take
So
them down.
Stealing a candy bar is a crime. You're going to shoot someone in the ass for it?
Not for a candy bar.
So that's a crime.
No, like if someone's robbing a bank and they're running away, shoot them in the ass. Take them out.
Why?
No, don't do that.
Make it fun.
Don't do that. Where is that fun? Do you know how much paperwork's involved in that shit? That police officer doesn't. Listen, the police officer don't want to shoot anybody, let alone in their ass or the groin, because then you got to, no. I don't know. The argument is they're saying that women are more likely to pull their weapon than men were because they'd feel more threatened.
Oh, I could see that, yeah.
Okay, you can see that, right?
Yeah.
So you have a baby that's on the side of the road, and some guy's running across to punt the baby into the sewer. Do you shoot the guy before he gets to the baby? You really have to think about this scenario?
Think about that?
Shoot him in the knee.
No.
That's my solution for everything.
No. If you saw this big 300-pound guy coming up to this little girl, a little woman, a little guy, I don't care, some guy a lot smaller than him, and says, I'm going to kill you, and you had an opportunity to take him out to save that guy's life, would you?
Yeah.
Okay. What if it was two 300-pound men getting ready to go at each other, and they looked at each other and say, I'm going to kill you. You let them fight it out, don't you?
Yeah.
See? There's my scenario for you. So just because you're smaller doesn't mean you're gonna protect the smaller people. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is why there's a problem with women in the military too.
Yeah.
I have no problem with women in the military.
I don't either. I mean, I go for it.
I would like to see more of those. I would like to see more women, high-ranking women military officers.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
However, you get women on a sub with a bunch of men. It's not the woman's fault, but I mean, if there was a if there was an armored car sitting out front, unattended, you walked by with, and they had, a sack of money sitting on the back, and you're like, there's no one watching it, I could walk away with that. Everybody would think about it, wouldn't they? It's the opportunity that places themselves there.
Yeah.
The problem is here in the U.S., we sexualize everything.
We do, yeah.
That's what we do. That's what we do wrong.
Yeah.
In Europe, there's topless beaches.
Yeah, there are.
Here, you don't see very many in there.
Yeah.
And then what happens if there is a topless beach here? Every horny guy within a 100-mile radius is on that beach.
Yeah.
And then they find out it's a big sausage fest.
Joke's on you, buddy.
Yep, because there ain't no women going there. It's all you guys with your sausage hanging out. Welcome to sausage.
Yeah. Okay.
It's true. I mean, yeah, I'm equal opportunity. I think if a woman wants to walk around topless, she should be able to.
Okay.
There shouldn't be anything wrong with that. And we're at a society where like, oh, look at boobies. We do this. We turned ourselves into that. We're like, oh, boobies. You do that kind of shit, and like you've never seen a pair of boobies before. It's like you see one pair, you want to see them all. But if it was happening more often, you wouldn't have that.
Yeah.
We're kind of prudes with it when it comes to that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think there should be men and women jobs anymore.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
I think that, office environment, men or women.
Yeah. In my field, it's mostly women. And then you have, your management is usually, a mix of male and female. So
now here's the problem. And this is what people don't understand too. Men get discriminated when they're in an office environment all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, shouldn't you be a man? Shouldn't you be out there doing a man's job?
Yeah.
Clean the sewer or, picking up garbage or, that's bullshit.
Yeah. It goes both ways. Definitely.
Yeah. I hope we got away from the men versus women jobs.
Yeah.
I really do.
I would like to hope that we do, but I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just kind of seeing it being one of those things that's always going to kind of be there.
So here's one thing and now I guess this would fall under, okay, what would this fall under? National origin, maybe? Okay, how do you feel about companies hiring people that can't speak very, very good of whatever language they're handling? I said that very specifically. Yeah, see? Because I don't know how many times.
This one's really difficult. I've spoken to people down in like the Philippines and other, even with like some maybe like French people, it's hard to kind of understand them a little bit.
Oh yeah, Canadians. The French Canadians are very because it's I don't know. It's just because they'll say something to me and I'm like, all right, I know where you're at. I know where you're at. I have no idea what you said, but I know where you're at. Now I will tell you that first time I took a call from a French Canadian, I didn't understand a word. I was like, this guy is speaking. I don't know what he's speaking. I'm like, I need a translator.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is he speaking? I don't know.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest issues I have with my job is, when we used to get people down in like Manila or something and they couldn't understand English.
some of them are able to speak English very well, but
they
they're
speak it, but they don't understand it.
correct. And that's what I was going to say is you could say something to them and they don't understand. They understand the words you said, but they don't understand. English is a fucked up language.
Yeah.
Okay. For example, I could say which is which. I said the same word, but everybody is like,
there's like at least 3 different meanings.
Yeah.
At least.
Like, have you read a book? Do you read a book?
Have you read?
Yeah. There's.
Yeah.
It's English is complicated.
Like where, and then where.
Yeah. And then the your.
Yeah.
There's English is complicated. So when it goes
like talking to the French though, because they have the good accents.
Okay, that I'm okay. I can see that. I like Australia's.
Oui, oui.
I don't know. It's just kind of. I don't know how I feel that. Now, is that a protected? I mean, can you discriminate against that if they don't? Like, if you're hiring to speak English and they don't speak English, what do you do there?
Well, I think if you're gonna have, so when we call, like, both airlines and hotels, they have call centers in different countries.
Okay.
For the different countries.
Okay.
So if you call somebody, like if you call the US number, you can still get someone in like Manila and they don't speak English like we do.
Right.
They don't understand us. So that's like...
That was a slippery subject too, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't know if like how like our discrimination stuff, like the EEOC, like how they work it, if it's multiple countries involved. I don't know how that works.
Well, let's say someone speaks Spanish, and they go walk into, I don't know, a burger place, okay?
Yeah.
And they're like, I want a job, but they only speak Spanish. Do they have to have do you have to present an application in Spanish in their language? And then can you not hire them because they can't speak English at all?
That's a good question.
I'm actually curious on that now.
Yeah.
Because technically that's a national origin, right?
Yeah.
And they're speaking their national language. I don't know. I guess that comes down to if I didn't have any arms, I'm not going to go for a typewriter job.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just not what I'm going to do.
That's not gonna. Yeah. That's not gonna work.
Yeah. If I was missing both my legs, I'm not going to get a job where I have to stand.
Yeah.
I guess there's disabilities and there's, I don't know. It gets kind of crazy when you start to get into the craziness of what it can be.
Yeah. There's just so many like what ifs and, what about this? What about that? I just think sometimes you got to use, a little bit more common sense.
Right.
You
right. I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Now that's probably why that's really not outlined by the EEOC.
Okay.
So, they're kind of very particular with what it is. So it's still, I still am a firm believer that I don't think companies have the best interest at heart from their employees anymore. There's very few, but
yeah, I don't, I have to agree with you. I don't think all of them do.
Yeah. I think they would rather, and I will tell you, if you file a discrimination claim, everybody I've seen on these stories that we've gone through for this, almost every story said that once you report it, the discrimination got worse.
Well, yeah, or the retaliation.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's retaliation.
Yeah.
So the retaliate. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. It seems like they at that point they're like, well, if you're going to report us, I'm going to make your life a living hell until you quit.
Yeah.
Or we're going to find a reason to fire you that we can prove.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what it comes down to. Now, work stress sucks.
It does, yeah.
I mean,
it's not fun.
I've seen you working on a ticket up there, and there's and here's the thing, there's regular work stress that we all have to deal with.
Yeah.
I get that. I understand that. We all, you get that customer that wants to yell, scream, and whatever. That's stressful. There's regular work stress.
Yeah.
Then there is discrimination work stress. That should not be tolerated at all. If it's regular work stress, and stress is healthy. Don't get me wrong. Stress can be healthy to a certain point. You also need a recovery period for there.
What are you smoking?
I'm drinking Jack and Coke.
Okay.
No, I'm serious. You can get stress helps you improve.
No, but
it does.
To a point.
The problem is you can't overload on stress because that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
And you need time to detox from that stress. If your stress level goes up, you need time for those levels to come back down. This is why vacation and time off from work is so important.
Yeah.
I urge people if they have vacation time or they have mental health days, some companies offer that. Use them and take them, because if you don't, you'll lose them.
Yeah, I read these stories about all these employers saying like a certain percentage of their employees don't use their vacation time. I'm like thinking, who the hell doesn't use their vacation time?
So that's an interesting thing. So there are some people that are workaholics.
I get that, but yeah, still you're a normal person. Who the hell doesn't take your vacation time?
So the reason some of them don't take their vacation time is some companies kind of make it very difficult to take the time off.
Yeah.
So if you are, let's say you're on a team of 5-10 people. Let's say they can only allow 2 of you off at one time. Well, you know what? You like to take the summers off, but everybody else does too. So you're low man on the totem pole, so you don't get it off. And then you're like, well, I don't want time off on the winter because I'm not going to do anything, so I might as well just work and get paid.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Here's also what they do. They'll have time available, but they'll like make it like, oh yeah, you can take a vacation from this time to this time. And it's just not, like, oh, sorry, everybody's already gotten time off. It's a pooled environment, and if they have time off, they're already, sorry, we're all, the quota's met for the day.
Yeah.
And then you at that point, I think people get tired of just requesting and say, I'm not going to get it off anyway, so why bother even trying anymore? That's where I'm saying the companies don't care for you anymore.
Yeah,
they wear you down.
Yeah.
They'll wear you down if you try to take vacation. They wear you down if they say, well, it's our busy time, so we're not offering vacation for this period of time. They can do that, and that's the bullshit thing. Is they say, no, you have vacation, you could take time off, but there's blackout dates.
Yeah.
You remember those? You should know those travel blackout dates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine? It's crazy, but I don't know. I still think your company doesn't care for you. If you're discriminated against, you need to file an EEOC violation.
Okay.
It's actually one of the first steps before you could actually sue them for discrimination.
Oh, okay.
So I don't recommend I don't like to sue anybody for that. But you know what? If the companies would do the right thing in the first place, half the time the issues would resolve itself.
Yeah, that's true.
I
or
mean,
just like look at the situation a little bit deeper.
Yeah, and say, okay, if this will, let's do this because we want to make sure everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Don't just dismiss people, and because when you dismiss people, they're going to the EEOC. They're going to file a complaint, and 143 people are tired of companies' shit now.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
All right. I think that's a good after show.
All
I
right.
think we're good. So
Okay.
now you could also watch us on. I'm gonna start the watching. I went YouTube, Rumble, and TikTok.
Okay. And then you can listen to us on any of your favorite podcast players like iHeart, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Samsung. So,
Yep. And then of course social media. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, and X.
we are.
So make sure you could, if you like us, hit the subscribe, follow us on any of those platforms. Give us a thumbs up, 5-star, whatever the platform requires. We'd love to have you as our followers here.
We would. Yep.
So, all right, I think that's a good show.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
All right. Bye, everybody.